evolution by natural selection was talked about by a man named Charles Darwin. He was the one that actually noticed it in about 1859. He showed the complexity of life and the complicated relationships among life forms that could emerge and survive from a natural process. So it's pretty much whatever type of animal blends in with the environment, they live more than someone that doesn't. I'll explain that later. He opened up the minds to science and not only religion, because back then religion was the big thing, and God put everything there for a reason, as they believed. Some people still to this day doubt this theory of natural selection. The exact definition that I found of natural selection is that more individuals are produced each generation that can survive. Phonetic type variation exists among individuals, and the variation is heritable. Those individuals with heritable traits better suited to the environment will survive. Which is when Darwin went to the Galapagos Islands, he found the different types of beaks on finches. There are different ways to understand natural selection. I understand it in a very simple way, and I look at it in different steps. So the 4 different steps is the traits, reproduction, heredity, and the end result. So step 1 is the variation in traits, such as a bunny that is either brown or white, or a beetle that is brown or green. Step 2, it's the differential reproduction, and since the environment can't support unlimited population growth, not all individuals get to reproduce to their full potential. So the brown bunnies would get eaten by the wolves, more of the brown bunnies than the white ones, depending on the environment. In this environment, I'm assuming it's more of a snowy environment, so the brown bunnies are easier to spot than the white bunnies. Step 3, heredity. The surviving white bunnies have white babies because the trait has been passed down through generations. So white bunnies have the larger population than the brown bunnies in this specific example that I'm giving. Step 4 is the end result. The more advantaged trait, which is the white bunny, allows the bunny to have more offspring, and the white becomes more common in the population. If this process continues, eventually all the bunnies will be white and the brown bunnies will go extinct. Natural selection isn't just with bunnies. That was just my example. On the first slide, if you're looking at my PowerPoint, there's the example of the beetles, and assuming they're on a tree, all the green beetles will get eaten because the brown beetles are more adapted to the environment and harder to spot. And I've seen this done with moths, and it can be done with a lot of things. But that is the gist of natural selection. A little bit more on Charles Darwin, though. He did a lot. This was one of his main findings on the island. But he was definitely a man of science, and he did a lot to prove people that science can prove these things that you say religion proves these things. So, yeah. Thank you.